Sure, I'll write you a CMS. I used to work for a major UK organization as a software developer. The section I worked in got a new sales manager who I didn't like. I thought his sales practices were a bit on the shady side. Anyway, he was also the stingy side and didn't want to pay for a decent CRM system. Instead, he wanted a database of all the sales team's Outlook contacts which would share contacts across the team and allow annotations and a contact record. Easy enough to do, so I wrote it for them and gave the binary a suitable descriptive name, conman, short for contact manager. Of course, they were using it for over 2 years before anyone twigged and made me rename it. Small victories like that always made me smile. I was asked to write a quick and dirty monitor display for a call center to make sure too many people didn't take cigarette breaks at a time, and I named it the Nicotine Abuse Reduction Center, or NARC. It didn't go into production with that name. About 10 years ago, I successfully convinced our shop's office manager that filing would be more efficient for the file clerk if we had a better way to organize stacks of closed customer repair invoices. Thus was born the WTF rubber stamp, for waiting to file. Of course, once I was given permission, I ordered them from Staples on our shop account, but may have accidentally put a quantity of 10. No one complained or even noticed. My technicians and service writers got a lot of fun from finding new and creative ways to use their new waiting to file stamps. I built a simple Excel resourcing and workflow tool for a set of back-office support teams. Never named it, and it became my name and tool. Even now I hear ladies in their 50s talking about Mark's tool when referring to it. FML. The project I work on has a name that acronyms to WA. This is great for spin-off names. My personal favorite is when I got our stand-up meeting designated the What's Up. My father was an engineer in the 60s and was involved in developing a urine recycling system for use in an early 60s space capsule. The name of the system was PP4U. I never worked in the field, but I remember when IT, information technology, was more commonly referred to as MIS, Management Information Systems. And I can't help but think the designation changed because someone realized how bad MIS management sounded. My former company rolled out a new leadership program called Leaders in Action. I begged them to reconsider changing the name. To no avail. Now, people think of the program as Leaders in Action. Seems to fit. I made a system for a company and named it Active Reporting System before releasing the only version ever created, 0.5. It always made me giggle a bit whenever I discussed the Halfarst system. So you renamed it Contman, right? I once engineered an entire database naming scheme so the summary observation table would be SOBs. We had a graphic design studio at one job and the guy wanted fingerprint scanners to check everyone in. He also wanted to know how to force everyone to work overtime every week, in violation of company standards. My coworkers and I titled the software Tyrannical Overlord 97. Thankfully, our emails were answered and it was cancelled from on high before we even started writing it. I worked at a company that had an actual book with all officially used TLAs. 3-letter acronyms. There was only one department which had a Florida 4LA. Analytics. Guess what they used? The first 4 letters. And guess what again? Anna was available. A major Midwestern university I worked at had built or customized several generations of mainframe computers from the 50s to the mid-80s. Their hardware had several PCPs, peripheral control processors, and its OS had a frequent LSD. Latest system description. In the early 90s I wrote a disaster recovery program called Ragnarok. I take great delight in using the official name for Alberta's new curriculum for K-6 students. The Program of Studies. POS. Early-ish in my IT career we had a number of acronyms that people tried to pronounce. I contribute with things like APSHT, RDL, CNT, etc. People tended to say each letter in my acronyms. Federico Caldera Nabin released FCK Editor in 2003. It was the most popular open-source HTML, JavaScript-based rich text editor for years. It was eventually renamed CK Editor after a major rewrite and years of comments about the name. I think that if it had been released with a different name, competing projects like TinyMCE might not have thrived as well as they did. I suspect businesses were just a little hesitant to include something named FCK Editor in their content management systems. I wrote some custom data collation and validation tools. My manager told me to build the program name as an acronym of my name. It also included several stress relief buttons. The opened Google image search for pictures of funny animals. As a SWEng, I love it smiling cat with heart eyes. We had one for our assistant manager that had the contact name Ass Man. Rolling on the floor laughing.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Aircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.